everybody, Ren Carothers here, and I've got your Future Stars forecast on a 2-year-old Tuesday. In case you missed this weekend's Win and You're in action pointing toward November 5th, don't worry, I got you covered. We're going to go over those 4 races. We'll talk about the pedigrees of the winners, and it was actually a really, really big weekend for Charles Appleby. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's kick things off with talking about Churchill Downs and the Pocahontas Stakes Grade 3 Win and You're In event for the juvenile fillies. And we saw a tremendous connection. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a look back at that race, and then we'll discuss what her figures came back, what her pedigree looks like. And so here we go. I'm going to share my audio, hook you up with the replay, and off we go.
Hustled hard for that outside post, quickly out to grab the lead on the ones and twos, is prominent toward the inside. Majestic Burrow's not far behind, and Hidden Connection stuck a little bit wide moving into that first turn, tries to cross over as best she can, moves all the way up into third, and is challenging for second as they move around the opening turn. So it is Lemieux in front. In front by 3/4 of a length. Hidden Connection is now second on the ones and twos toward the inside. Third, Majestic Doro is 3 wide, moving up from fourth. Knees and Hips is 4 wide, racing fifth. Farther out than that is Miss Jamita in sixth. And then it's Mama Marina toward the inside, racing seventh. Goddess of Fire, 6 lengths off the lead, just ahead of Maxine Machine. And Code for Success trails the field. A moderate opening quarter in 24 1/5 seconds. It is Lemieux the leader, heading for the far turn. Stalked intently by Hidden Connection, who prompts this pace past the half-mile pole. Majestic Doro has moved up to be third. On the ones and twos toward the inside, racing fourth. Miss Jamita sent down for speed with a wide sweep from fifth. Goddess of Fire under a heavy drive, racing sixth. Mama Marina seventh. Code for Success moves up into eighth. Maxine Machine, and at the back is Knees and Hips as they round the far turn. Hidden Connection has taken the lead as they come for the top of the stretch. Lemieux checked out of it. Majestic Doro's right there second. On the ones and twos, pops outside from third. Goddess of Fire fourth. Code for Success is fifth. And down inside is Mama Marina. They're off the turn. They're into the stretch. Hidden Connection shaken up to a 3-length lead. And now it's 4. Majestic Doro's trying hard. Mama Marina toward the inside. Goddess of Fire's late in the scene on the ones and twos behind that. But they are all chasing Hidden Connection. Hidden Connection streaking through the stretch to win the Pocahontas by 8 lengths on the wire. Mama Marina was second, Goddess of Fire was third, and Code for Success finished fourth.
Okay, let's talk. Oh, there is my friend Joe. Okay, so a couple of things here to talk about. First of all, gorgeous horse. What an efficient looking mover. She's got really nice action. And that margin of victory was actually 9 1/4 lengths. And this was following up her debut score, which came at Colonial. She was sprinting 5.5 furlongs. She did not get on the lead that day. And, of course, here she was just about a length off throughout the Pocahontas, a length or so. But in her debut, again, at 5.5 furlongs, she was hanging about 2.5 or so lengths back. The half was running 44 4 that day. They stopped the clock in 1:02 and 21 100, so 1:02 and 1, and she won that race by 7.5 lengths. So, I mean, already this is a filly to get very excited about, and you got to think that the crew at Lanes End Farm are exceptionally excited about her because she is a first crop representative of their sire Connect. And Connect, I mean, that horse had a lot of ability as well. A millionaire, a grade 1 winner. He won the Cigar Mile. He won the Pennsylvania Derby. That's relevant, right? He won the Westchester. He won his sire's namesake stakes, being the Curlin. And that's something else that is really fun about this filly, because her dam happens to be CJ's gal, who is a daughter of another Breeders' Cup Classic champion, because as we know, Curlin won. Awesome again, won the 98 edition. So that's kind of fun that both grandsires are Breeders' Cup Classic champions. Additionally, this filly, she's got some other interesting black type because her grandmother, CJ's Lily, she was stakes placed, but even more interestingly, she's a half-sister to a horse you may remember, Capabastone, who won the King's Bishop, so a Grade 1 winner. In his 2-year-old season, he was actually third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile to Shanghai Bobby, and who was second the day? He's had enough? I can't remember. But Shanghai Bobby won that year's edition. That was back in 2012. And, you know, I will say another thing that is, you know, pretty obvious is that they felt that this filly was worth buying into. And by they, I am talking about black type thoroughbreds. That's Jake Ballas. Because this filly originally, I mean, she went through OBS earlier this year for a mere $85,000. Can you imagine? What a freaking bargain. And now, not only does she have her ticket punched to Future Stars Friday in the juvenile fillies, but she's also getting 10 points for a date back at Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Oaks. So very exciting. As far as the other connections go, Black Type Thoroughbreds own her in partnership with Hidden Brook Farm. She was bred by St. Simon Place. She's trained by Brett Calhoun, ridden by Ray Lou Gutierrez. And there's actually a really endearing photo of Ray Lou with Hidden Connection after the race where he's giving her a hug. So if you get on social media, you could probably find it, check it out. It's really, again, an endearing image to see. Now, the other interesting thing, and by the way, on her debut, she got an 84 buyer. Her buyer came back in 87 for the Pocahontas. She stopped the clock here in 143 and 78 100, so 143 and 3. But even more interestingly is that just the very next race later, her time would prove to be more than a full second faster than the boys in the Iroquois. Yeah. So take that, to heart when we see her back in the past performances entered again. Oh, hold on one second. Am I related to Matt Carothers? I'm married to Matt Carothers. Matt Carothers is my husband. Yes. Okay. Although we're not related genetically, we're just married. Okay. Let's see here. Hi, Ren. Love from England. We've got a 2-year-old running this week in the middle part called Perfect Power. He's the quickest 2-year-old I've seen all year. Wayne Harrison. Okay, I was going to talk about this later. I'll mention it now. I think we've had something like 8 win and you're in events for the Future Stars Friday card specifically. 2 of those win and you're in races already run pointed toward the juvenile turf sprint. Both of those races, the Norfolk Group 2 at Royal Ascot and the Group 1 Prix Morny, won by Perfect Power. So yeah, I know about Perfect Power. It's very, very exciting to see what he may do this weekend. Or actually, yeah, in this week. Let's see here. Who's the better handicapper? You know, I'm going to go with Matt. I mean, I grew up on a thoroughbred horse farm. We were raising and racing thoroughbreds, before I was even born, my parents were. Basically grew up on my mom's hip at the old Detroit race course in Michigan, which no longer exists. So sadly, it was a beautiful track. But that being said, Matt is bolder in terms of his actual cash on wagers. And he finds these diamonds in the rough it's just like, how the heck did you come up with that horse? Now, as far as the pedigree plays go, dude, no, he's not beating me. No. I earned the title Pedigeek for a reason. Let's see here. Oh, Beyonce wants to say hi to Frankie Wagner. Okay, I guess you two know each other. And if not, this is a place where we can, say hey. And who knows, maybe you make a new friend. Okay, so as I told you, Hidden Connection actually ran over a full second faster than the boys in the Iroquois. That being said, we had a really nice performance in the Iroquois, and the race was won by Major General. So I'll go ahead and show you that race now. On the other side of it, we'll talk pedigree, we'll talk connections, we'll talk, whatever you want to know. You can ask me questions. So here we go. Share the screen, the audio. And here we go. Major General in the Iroquois.
And they're off. Good beginning for Major General. So to Roger McQueen toward the inside. Stellar Tap is up close. Magnolia Midnight is there. Husband Material very wide into that first turn. The race is on early. Roger McQueen toward the inside. Magnolia Midnight in between. Stellar Tap is 3 wide. Husband Material racing up to be 4 wide. Tough to Tame is very keyed up 5th and toward the rail. Major General asked to pick it up just a bit from 6th. Strike Hard is racing 7th. Guntown 8th by 2. Then it's Red Knob 2nd to last. Bourbon Heist settles in at the back of the pack. The opening quarter goes in 23 and 4/5 seconds. Down the backstretch run they go. Magnolia Midnight with a short lead with 5 furlongs remaining. Roger McQueen is keeping pace toward the inside in 2nd. Stellar Tap is poised to the outside 3rd, just 2 lengths off the leaders. Tough to Tame is 4th and down toward the rail. Major General's racing up into 5th. Guntown with a move toward the inside, sneaking up to within 3 lengths of the lead. Husband Material's right there in the thick of it. Strike Card farther back with Red Knob's Bourbon Heist is the trailer. So round the far turn, Roger McQueen comes back on the inside. Magnolia Midnight is there. And here comes Stellar Tap with a 3 wide bid. American General with a 4 wide sweep. Tough to Tame switches outside for the final quarter mile. Farther back, it's Guntown. At the top of the stretch, Major General rests a short lead away from Stellar Tap, who's in tight down toward the rail and tries to fight on. Stellar Tap and Major General head-to-head, shoulder-to-shoulder. Tough to Tame 3rd and closing in. Bourbon Heist is rolling down the center of the Churchill Downs. Red Knobs is there as well. 16th to go. Major General trying to fend off an oncoming Tough to Tame. Major General digs down deep. Tough to Tame surges. Here's the wire. It's going to be close. Major General got it. Major General with a huge wide effort throughout. Nails it on the wire. Tough to Tame was 2nd. Red Knobs and Bourbon Heist.
Okay, big, beautiful boy there. Somebody obviously had that on their ticket because you could hear them shouting out in celebration. But yeah, Major General, as you heard right there, wide trip. This was just the 2nd start of his career. He had actually debuted a winner at Saratoga, sprinting 6.5 furlongs. That buyer came back on debut, a 77. It here in the Iroquois comes back a 76. But I mean, you saw that. Again, wide trip. You saw some, duking it out there with Stellar Tap, who's a very nice racehorse for Steve Asmussen. Then he had to hold off the charge of Tough to Tame. The margin victory, a neck, but that was Javier Castellano Board, making sure that he got that horse across the wire. As far as the connections go, it's interesting because the horse is actually by Constitution, who Todd Pletcher trained also, and who stands at Windstar Farms. And even though Windstar did not breed this horse, it was Circular Road Breeders. Congratulations. But Windstar owns this horse in partnership with Sienna Farm, and he's out of No Mo Lemons, and she's a daughter of another Todd Pletcher trainee in Uncle Mo. And as I always say, whenever we talk about Uncle Mo, you'll remember, in addition to just being a fantastic, potent sire, he was himself a champion racehorse. He won the 2010 Breeders' Cup Juvenile, went on to win Eclipse Honors for the year, and we know what he's doing at stud. So it's kind of fun. You got Todd Pletcher influence top and bottom as well. And this horse, he was actually a $420,000 Keeneland September yearling. So expectations were always big, really it's something that they had for this horse, considering the price tag. And I think he's a beautiful horse. I think there's a lot of upside. He looks like he's pretty big. I was not there in person, so I cannot confirm that for you, but he looks like a big horse to me just on the replay, and maybe one who is going to continue to get better as he gets more time to mature into that frame. As far as this goes beyond the win and you're in ticket to the TVG Juvenile presented by the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, he also gets 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby for that win. As far as the pedigree goes beyond what I already discussed, I will say that the female family includes the likes of a Grade 1 winner that won the Clark Handicap in Leorific. And then we also have another Grade 1 winner in there, Well Chosen. You'll remember Well Chosen as a broodmare. She went on to produce Telling, who won 2 editions of the Sword Dancer Invitational. And there's a lot of other graded stakes winners in the pedigree as well. But the thing that I think is really fun, and I actually pulled up his 5-generation pedigree to show you this, just being a pedi-geek, right? And I love history too. So I just find it especially fun to show you something like this. Okay, so here's Major General's pedigree. I want to make sure I've got it up for you. Oops, hold on a second. Get back to that page. Okay, so Major General's pedigree, and you'll see again, by constitution, out of Nomo Lemon, she's a daughter of Uncle Mo. You got Lemon Drop Kid in there, Lemon Drop Kid, same female family here as AP Indy. And some people don't know that, but Lemon Drop Kid also is fun to mention, by King Mambo King Mambo himself, a son of Mr. Prospector, and then you got Miesk in there. I mean, how good was she? Hello, Breeders' Cup champion multiple times. Okay, so, but here's what I really wanted to show you. Now, when I talk about tail female, and this is a better way of showing you than me just using my words to try to explain it. So tail female means mom to grandma to great grandma. Sorry, I got an email and it distracted me. It came up on my screen. Okay, so let me do that again. Mom to grandma, to great grandma, to great great grandma, to great 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 grandma. It just keeps on going back. But let's keep going. We're gonna go tail female. We're gonna keep going back. So you keep going back. Da 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 da. Back back back. Keep going. Right here, Mahuba. Okay, so Major General is direct tail female family of Mahuba, and you're like, okay, who's Mahuba? Well, I'll tell you who Mahuba was. Mahuba was the dam, or is the dam, of Man o' War. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Man o' War, one of the greatest racehorses of all time. And so that's really fun. And she's also Mahuba, the great grandmother of our 7th Triple Crown champion in Assault. So I think that's fun. I love stuff like that. It's fun to talk about. It puts a story behind the horse beyond just seeing a new fresh face who you've never seen, never heard of. And the backstories are fun. These are the horses. I always say this: the 2-year-olds that we're looking to point toward Future Stars Friday are the horses we're hoping present a showcase of the names that we'll see in the headlines come 2022, the next chapter of racing, right? The next generation. So that's what makes it fun. So that's Major General for you, okay? Now, let's move on and talk about some action that happened north of the border. And actually, I will mention one of the races at Belmont because it's relative to the person I'm going to speak about here in a second. So on Saturday at Belmont, Charles Appleby sent out Godolphin's Ebier to victory under Jamie Spencer in the Jockey Club Derby Invitational, which is a win and you're in for the Longines turf, okay? So that was already pretty awesome, right? But then also on Saturday at Woodbine, Appleby, Godolphin, and this time Frankie Dettori, well, they teamed up to win the Pattison Canadian International Grade 1 race with Walton Street. So that's pretty exciting right there, right? But then they come back the next day there at Woodbine. Again, the same trio of Appleby, Godolphin, and Dettori. And they take not one, but both of the Grade 1 juvenile races, both of those races winning your ins, respectively, for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. So, I mean, what a weekend, right? I mean, my goodness. Now, as far as those winners go, we're going to talk about Wild Beauty first. She won the Grade 1 Natalma. Both of these races, obviously, as I already mentioned, turf races there on the EP Taylor turf course. They're both at a mile, which is the distance of their respective Breeders' Cup winning errands. I mean, both of them were coming in with reputations, right? You're not going to ship a horse from across the pond unless you think that it's going to be worth your while. And they did not disappoint. So the Natalma, by the way, named for, well, actually, I'll get to that. Most of you probably already know that, who Natalma is. If you don't, what the heck? But I'll explain to you later just in case. But yeah, let's just go ahead first. I'll show you the race, and then I will discuss, as I've already gone over before, the pedigree, the connections, and whatever questions you might have. So let's go ahead, share the screen, and make sure you got your audio. And here we go. This is going to be the Natalma Stakes featuring Wild Beauty for Appleby, Godolphin, and Dettori.
Off they race in the Natalma Stakes, and as they broke, Wild Beauty, a distinct last, is 2 lengths behind the entire field. Cardio Princess began very well on the outside to be up in front, and showing early speed, Guileful, Ready Lady on the inside, followed by Royal Engagement, and 2.5 lengths behind them is Pizza Bianca in 5th, and then Diabolic. Bucksheesh traveling up on the inside, 2 to Eminent Victor, Mrs. Barbara, and now Wild Beauty is moving up on the outside and must be about 10 lengths off this leader. Cardio Princess has the early lead by 1.5 lengths to in second place in Guileful. Just shading Ready Lady on their outside is Royal Engagement there, 3 to Pizza Bianca, followed by Diabolic, Bucksheesh, and then comes Wild Beauty gaining some ground. 1.5 lengths Eminent Victor second last, and the trailer is Mrs. Barbara. Racing inside the half mile in the Natalma Stakes, and Cardio Princess on top. In second, Guileful, Ready Lady the inside. Racing 3 wide is Royal Engagement, about 2 to Pizza Bianca, Diabolic. They're starting to edge into it well. Wild Beauty catching ground is 2 behind them. And then Bucksheesh third last, Eminent Victor second last. And as they turn, Mrs. Barbara's at the back. Cardio Princess, Guileful, Royal Engagement, Diabolic. The inside, Ready Lady opening for Pizza Bianca to try and get through as muscling, and now Wild Beauty emerging down the outside. Wild Beauty swallowed them up, didn't begin well, but it doesn't matter. Wild Beauty's raced away. Pizza Bianca into second spot, but she's a real talent, Wild Beauty, and she is devastating them here in the Natalma Stakes. And Frankie Dettori and Wild Beauty wrap this up in style. Wild Beauty, plenty left. About 2 3/4 lengths. Pizza Bianca, Eminent Victor got in for show, and Mrs. Barbara was 4th. Behind them, Diabolic, and Guileful ahead of the others. 135.08.
Okay, I wish you could have seen the beginning of that race, because the reason she broke so badly, okay, she kind of came out sideways out of the gate, and then she got ping-ponged. I mean, just absolutely dramatically ping-ponged right out of the gate. And yet she put in a performance like that. Nobody was going to beat her. I feel like an idiot because I did try to. I went with Pizza Bianca in that race. She's owned by Bobby Flay. I was just thinking, okay, well, maybe we could get a prize. It was just the second start of Pizza Bianca's career, to be fair, whereas this was the 6th start for Wild Beauty. But I should mention to you, just in case you want to follow Pizza Bianca as well, because she's got a very cool pedigree. She's by Fastnet Rock, and then she's out of a 3/4 sister to Epsom Derby winner Pour Moi. So really nice pedigree on that filly. But yes, let's put the attention on our actual winner, Wild Beauty, because again, nobody was going to beat her. That was a stellar, gutty performance that she overcame those travails and, powered to win like that. Now, not only did I find it so appropriate that, hold on a second. I see somebody putting up a reply. Hold on a second. Oh, more of this. Thanks so much, Ren Carothers. I'm riveted while at work. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Patty. Okay. And then show the reply then. Bob, I don't know what reply we're talking about. Is there a reply? A reply to what? You just let me know. Okay, hold on a second. Who is this? Right here. Not sure them Canadian horses are up to much, as these are a long way off. The best 2-year-olds in England in Spiral destroyed Wild Beauty. That's a scary thought, right? That's a scary thought. Okay. Oh, well, we did show the replay. You must have. We were just showing the replay. We're going to show the other replay in just a minute for the summer. But before we get to that, let's talk about, again, the Natalma. So Wild Beauty, daughter of the horse who holds the highest time form figure of all time, that, of course, being Frankel, 147, right? And Frankel, son of Galileo, son of Sadler's Wells, Sadler's Wells, the son of Northern Dancer. And why does this make it even more fitting? Well, because again, this is the Natalma Stakes, and Northern Dancer, his mom is Natalma, right? That's the namesake. That's the connection. And not only does Wild Beauty have Natalma from that line through Frankel, because Frankel actually presents another line of Northern Dancer as well. Let me actually show you her 5-generation pedigree here, and you'll see just how much influence she has with Northern Dancer. And because you've got Northern Dancer, you've got Natalma all over the place. So again, very fitting that she should win that namesake race. Let me show you here. Pull up the pedigree, make sure you can see that. Okay, so here's Wild Beauty's pedigree. And as you can see, I already discussed, she's by Frankel. Frankel is hailing from the direct tail male line of Northern Dancer. Again, as I already went over, Frankel by Galileo, by Sadler's Wells, by Northern Dancer, and Northern Dancer's mommy, Natalma. So you got her right there. Then Kind, Frankel's mom, by Danehill, by Danzig, by Northern Dancer. So you can't see her name because it cuts off there, but obviously anytime you see Northern Dancer, you've got Natalma. And then not only that, but even Wild Beauty's mom, by Pivotal, by Polar Falcon, by Nureyev, by Northern Dancer. And then you've got down here, Hint of Spring is out of Cherokee Rose. She was good too. And I mean, that's a really nice mare right there. But she's by Dancing Brave. Dancing Brave, what a performance in the Arc, one of the best assembled fields. Dancing Brave by Lafar. Lafar, who's he? Oh, that's Northern Dancer. So you got Natalma again. So I mean, just so fitting again that this filly should win this race. Also, shout out right here to Seeking the Gold. Seeking the Gold was second to Ali Sheba in the '88 Breeders' Cup Classic. And he actually went on to produce a couple Breeders' Cup champions and Cash Run. He had, who else did he have? I think he had Flanders, and he had in the Distaff, Pleasant Home. So not too shabby, right? So I'll stop the screen there. I'm back. And again, we're just talking right now about Wild Beauty. And the other thing about this pedigree that I should go over, I feel like I would be remiss not to, is that her second dam, as I already went over, by Seeking the Gold, already went over that. But Hint of Spring, again, that's the second dam, that's the grandmother. She's also a half-sister to a Group 3 winner, Group 1 place runner named Bowman, and also a half-sister to a horse named Moyesi. And if you haven't heard of her, that's okay. The main point I'm trying to make is that Moyesi is the dam of a couple Group 1 winners in Kirklees, who was champion 2-year-old in Italy, as well as Mastery. Not our stateside Mastery, but the British-bred Mastery, whose scores include the St. Leger Stakes and the Hong Kong Vase. So it's a really nice pedigree, as you would expect with her being a daughter of Frankel. You're not going to get your mare to Frankel unless you've got some class in that pedigree. And it was, again, a sensational performance. Simply, I mean, the win itself was great, but when you go back, and I really strongly urge you to go and watch the start of that race and see how dramatic it was when she came out of the gate and got just sandwiched and ping-ponged, again, really badly. Yeah, lots of nice things to say about her from performance perspective and a pedigree perspective. And also want to mention that just like with Hidden Connection, Wild Beauty's time did come back faster than the boys. Wild Beauty's time almost 135 flat. I mean, we're very close. 135 and 8/100ths, and her buyer came back in 89. Okay, so now let's turn our attention to the boys in the summer stakes. And here we had Albar. Albar, by the way, in case you'd like to know, in Arabic it means the sea. So I think that's a nice name. Now, he is, well, I guess, first of all, he's a gelding, okay? And I'll get into that more. I feel like that must have been a very difficult decision to make. I don't know why they gelded him. And when I go over his pedigree, it makes it even more curious why he was gelded, because there's a lot of black type in there. But before we get to any of that, let me just go ahead. Oh, hold on a second. Patty. Yeah, ping-ponging was the perfect description of her unfortunate exit from the gate, and so awesome her time's better than boys. I know! Seriously, for her to overcome that, I know I keep saying it, guys, but seriously, you have to. If you have not seen it, go back and watch the start. I wish I would have queued up a replay that actually had it head on. I thought maybe I don't know. I wasn't thinking when I pulled it up originally, and then I realized as the replay was rolling, you're missing one of the most important parts of that performance. So yeah, if you can go and you can find it, watch it, and you'll be even more impressed by her victory there. Okay, now let's go ahead. We're going to watch Albar here in the Summer Stakes. Again, for Appleby, Godolphin, and Dettori. This was just the very next race after the Natalma. So here we go.
Away they race in the Summer Stakes, and as they broke, Albar was last out the gate and best into stride. Toward the outside, First Empire a length to Degree of Risk, and shooting through is Heat Merchant near the center. On the inside, Dripping Gold is sharing third, and then Super Legacy ready for the lady. A length to Grafton Street, Albar second last. A length and a half away last is Luckman. 7 lengths covers the field and breaking free in the early part. First Empire and Patrick Husbands get out to lead 3 lengths. Heat Merchant second, a neck to Degree of Risk. 2.5 to Super Legacy. And racing next is on the inside, Dripping Gold. Ahead away is Albar, who's about 5 off the lead. A length away, Grafton Street improving on the inside of Ready for the Lady. And Luckman is last. Racing towards the half mile in front is First Empire by 2 lengths, Heat Merchant in second. Degree of Risk third, a length away Super Legacy. Albar started to go past Dripping Gold in the centre, and then follows over on the inside, Grafton Street looking for room, Ready for Lady on the outside. And last of all is still Luckman, but out in front, First Empire by a length to Heat Merchant coming at this leader. Degree of Risk 3 wide. Albar's about 2.5 behind, gathered up now by Frankie Dettori and Super Legacy the outside. Albar switches to the outside as the leaders. First Empire, Degree of Risk, Heat Merchant and Albar on the outside, Degree of Risk. And Albar go on, and First Empire the rail, but Albar's hit the front. And Albar coming away from Degree of Risk. Grafton Street is running late on the outside. In front, Albar, a 16th to run in the Summer Stakes, and Godolphin's got it won. Albar in front, and Albar goes on to score by 2.5 lengths to Grafton Street. Degree of Risk third, a photo for fourth, Dripping Gold on the outside, or First Empire. Behind them, Ready for the Lady, Luckman, Heat Merchant at last, Super Legacy. 135.77.
Okay, so there you go, Albar. And you know what? Patty's telling me that we do have the front view of the start of the Natalma on that same link that I was showing previously. You know what? I'm going to talk about Albar, and then I'm going to try to pull that back up and show that, because I think it is absolutely something that we all need to see. Thank you, Patty, for finding that. Now, as far as Albar goes, the very first thing that I need to mention here is, because we just saw that, obviously, stretch run. So he's coming down the stretch. He had to come out and find his, find the running room. And then as he gets up alongside that other horse, he switches to the wrong lead. So then he's on his wrong lead for like the majority of the stretch before he finally switches back to the correct lead across the wire. So that's very impressive. Another thing that we should also note, he's kind of out of his running style in there. He's usually either on the lead or close to it, based on past performances, because this was the 5th start of his career. He had been 3 for 4. Now he's 4 for 5. And so he had to change things up. He kind of hopped out of the gate that day. And so for him to be able to adjust, I think that bodes very well for the type of head he must have, that he can adapt. Also doesn't hurt when you have Frankie Dettori in the irons, right? Now, the other thing that we should mention is he actually began his career as a colt. So intact, meaning, no snip yet, right? But you'll see that his first start as a gelding came back on July 17th at Haydock in the British Stallion Stud Stakes, which he won with Dettori in the irons by 4 3/4 lengths and over a next out winner. Came back, then he wins the Irish Champions EBF Stonehenge Stakes at Salisbury. And obviously, they thought well enough the horse to ship him over here and try to get that ticket punched to Breeders' Cup. They got the job done. It was a very dominant performance. I will say I was stupid again, because I tried again to beat Appleby and Company, because I knew the price was come on, you're not making any money there, right? And this is, a gambling sport, right? So I tried to beat him. And I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back here. Okay. I tried to beat him with a horse who did end up running second. That is Grafton Street from Art Cassie and Colmore. And here, my whole reason why I like that horse, and I think that was a really good performance he put into. He got on his wrong lead as well, I should mention, in the stretch. But the reason I liked Grafton Street in there was because he's by Warfront. And I'll talk about the female family in just a second. He had one career start, and he was supposed to be making that start on the turf, but it got washed off. It was over a sloppy sealed track. So I just drew a line through it, and he hadn't run since. I think they were just taking their time with him. And when they brought him back here in the summer stakes, you had to figure the horse hadn't broke his mane yet. They must have thought he had that type of ability that they're going to try to break the maiden and get a grade 1 all at once. And it wasn't crazy because here you have a horse who, again, son of Warfront, and then his mom, a Group 2 placed 3/4 sister to Lascana. And you might go, well, who's Lascana? Lascana is the dam of a couple Group 1 winners, namely Brave Anna and 2015's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Champion Hit It a Bomb. Both Brave Anna and Hit It a Bomb, by the way, scion of Warfront. So that's why I was going with the pedigree angle, and I was not embarrassed because he still did get second place at 9-1 in just his second career start and his first ever on the grass. So I was very happy with my pick. But yeah, nobody is beating Albar. Nobody. And it was a really nice performance. And as far as Albar's pedigree goes, well, actually, before I get to the pedigree, let me give you the figures on it. So as I told you, the filly went faster. Wild Beauty went faster. Again, 135 and 8/100, so 135. A buyer of 89. The boys, or Albar rather, 135 and 77/100, so 135 and 3, just shy of 135 and 4. Buyer came back in 81. So both of them, not great starts, but I would definitely have to say that Wild Beauty start was much more dramatically bad. Hold on a second. Appleby isn't playing. No, he is not. He came to play, but he's not playing around. Exactly. You are absolutely right. Reminds me of what Cassie did with War of Will. Race and maiden special weight, then send him to some. Yep. And War of Will, another son of Warfront. So yeah, if it worked before, let's try it again. And if Albar wasn't in there, you would have won, right? It would have worked out. So now let's talk about the pedigree, because obviously all these Godolphin horses are going to have stellar pedigree. And as I already said, it must have been a really tough decision to gelb this horse because pedigree is really good. So now, not only is he a grade 1 winner, but he's a half brother to a Group 1 winner in Cascadian, who won the Doncaster Mile. Albar, as far as his sire goes, he's by Dubawi. Dubawi, magnificent runner, multiple Group 1 winner, paternal grandson, by the way. Paternal, so his father's father. Seeking the Gold, who we already discussed, right? And then Dubawi, he has already sired a Breeders' Cup champion in 2017's Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf winner, Wahida, who was also trained by Charlie Appleby for Godolphin. I believe it was William Buick of that day. Now, Albar's mom, Falls of Laura, she won the UAE Oaks. She's a daughter of Street Cry. We all know Street Cry, right? And if we don't, brief history lesson, I guess. Street Cry already had talent at 2. He was 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile of 2000. He went on to become a multiple grade 1 winner, one of those wins being the Dubai World Cup. We know, as a sire, we got to enjoy the first and still only female Breeders' Cup Classic champion in his daughter Zenyatta. So we already know how great Street Cry is. Albar's second dam, that would be, again, his grandmother. That is Firth of Lorne. She's a daughter of Danehill. Firth of Lorne, she was 2nd in the Group 1 French 1000 Guineas. And Firth of Lorne, she was actually bred to Dubawi, who again is Albar's sire. And on that cross, produced Master of the Seas, who's also owned by Godolphin, trained by Appleby. And he, at 2 years old, won the Group 2 Superlative Stakes. And then earlier this year, the Group 3 Craven at Newmarket. And most recently, he nearly became a Group 1 winner. He just got edged on the line in the Group 1 Kipco 2000 Guineas by Poetic Flair. I mean, it was so close. In fact, when you watch that replay, it almost looks like Master of the Seas got there. But yeah, it's a stellar pedigree. And now the fact that he's not only a half brother to a Group 1 winner, but he is a Grade 1 winner himself, it's gotta sting a bit that he is snipped. I would be curious to know why. In some instances, maybe there's something physically amiss and it's, for the horse's health. Sometimes it's mental. And, I told this story because I was on the live feed for America's Best Racing with Dan and with Sherry from Woodbine and with Ella Starr. And I mentioned when we were talking about this horse being a gelding, do you know they nearly gelded Northern Dancer? Can you even imagine? I mean, you just heard how many times I dropped that name, Northern Dancer. Can you imagine if Northern Dancer had been gelded? What the heck would our thoroughbred look like today? I mean, he's everywhere in these pedigrees. And I don't know, just stuff like that makes you go, thank goodness that decision did not carry through. Hold on a second. I have more commentary. Patty says, Street Cry is one of my faves, especially for giving us Zenyatta and Winks too, right? Yes, you are absolutely correct. Winks. Let's see here. Wayne Harrison. AOB will have a few 2-year-olds on the plane to take on them Godolphins, but Godolphin having a great season. Times may be changing now, especially with no Galileo going forward. Yeah, I know. But Frankel, he's looking like an heir. And that filly especially, I will say, Wild Beauty, just the way the little white footies with the black coronets, she really has taken off, in terms of, she definitely has talent, but the aesthetic look of her sire too. I know she doesn't have the white on the face, but she looks a lot like him. Now, Patty very kindly told me that they do have the head-on of Wild Beauty start in that replay I was trying to show you earlier. So I'm actually looking for that right this minute, because again, I just think it's so impressive that she overcame this that I really want to show it to you if I can find it here. So let me try and see what I can do in terms of getting that too. So Woodbine, Natalma, let's see if I can find it. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and post those. And let's see here. Is this? No, that's from, okay, Woodbine replays. Why can I not upload? Okay, let me see here. It was race 8, and she says it was about 3 minutes into the replay.
It's moving up on the.
Let me see here. I know, I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing this on the fly, so I apologize. But I do think it's worthy of taking a look at the. You know what? Let's see here. Almost there. Almost there. I'm still trying to get it queued up for you, and I know you're. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, wait a second. You know what? For some reason on this replay, I'm not seeing it on here. I don't know why. So I'm sorry. I thought we had it there, Patty. Oh, let me see. I'm sorry. She says, and I said scroll forward to 30 something, but go back 1 or 2 seconds before that. I tried. I can't seem to find it. I don't know why. I'm looking. I see the post-race interview with Jason Portwando and Frankie Dettori. I don't see the start of the race from the head-on view. I'm still looking. I'll look one more time, and I just don't seem to see it on this Woodbine replay. Maybe you're seeing it on somebody else's somebody else's replay of the race. I'm actually on Woodbine's replay. And so let me see here. Maybe I can find it here. And I know, guys, I'm sorry. I've never like hunted for a replay while I've had people live in the show here. So I apologize. I know it might be a little strange. But yeah, I can't find it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Patty. Yeah, she says, oh no, I'm linking the YouTube. Okay. She's going to link the YouTube in here. You guys can check out this link and go and watch the replay yourself. And you will see just, again, the best way I can put it, she got ping pong. Imagine coming out the gate, already a little bit sideways, having two other fillies on either side of you and going boom, boom. And you're like, oh my gosh. That's what it was like. That's what it was like. So check it out. Talking about Wild Beauty's bad start in the Natalma Stakes, but how she had enough heart and talent to still get up to win that grade 1. Not only get up to win, but like decisively. So she says, yeah, it was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So guys, here's where the lay of the land is right now. And then I'm gonna sign off after this. But so the win in your ins we've had, as I already went and told you about earlier in the show, because somebody, I think it was my guy Wayne, brought him up. Perfect Power. We've had 2 winning your in races for the Juvenile Turf Sprint. Both of them, the Group 2 Norfolk and the Group 1 Pre-Morny, both of them won by Perfect Power. And that's for Richard Fahey and Sheikh Rashid Dalmouk Al Maktoum. The win in your ins that we've had for the Juvenile Turf, the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes, that was at Leopardstown, won by Atomic Jones for Gare Lyons. And we just had the Summer Stakes at Woodbine with Albar for Appleby and Godolphin. Juvenile Fillies Turf, we've had the win in your ins, the Moglair Stud Stakes at the Curragh, that was won by Discoveries for Jessica Harrington for the Iroquois family, and then the Natalma right there at Woodbine with Wild Beauty for Appleby, Godolphin. And you know, as far as the win in your ins for the Juvenile Fillies, just the one so far, the Pocahontas, won by Hidden Connection, who also got 10 points toward the Kentucky Oaks. And then just the one so far, Juvenile winning your in for the TVG Juvenile presented by the TAA, that being the Iroquois, 10 points for Major General. We do have some win and your ins on the 24th, so just a couple days away here, and it's going to be the Shadwell Rockfell Stakes for the Juvenile Fillies Turf at Newmarket, and then the Juddmonte Royal Lodge the following day on the 25th, and that is a win and you're in for the Juvenile Turf also at Newmarket. So that's your recap. That's what we're looking forward to. I hope you had fun. I know sometimes it can be a little all over the place, but there's just so much information. I will say, if any of this pedigree stuff kind of went over your head and you're like, okay, she mentioned this other horse, I guess that's cool. Or I actually did 2 write-ups. I'm not sure if the other one's up just yet, but if you go to breederscup.com and you go to the news section, you'll see a recap for the Pocahontas and the Iroquois, which focuses on the pedigrees of the winners. And then also there's going to be one up for the Natalma and Summer Stakes. So again, just go to breederscup.com and go to the news section and you can check that out. And if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you better hurry up, okay? We're getting ever closer to November 5th and 6th at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. Anyway, I hope you had fun. Ren Carothers, your friendly petty geek here. I'll check you back next Tuesday for the Future Stars forecast.